Martin here. I've got all the news you need to know about this morning, including finds out how BBC Bite Size can make remote learning a little easier for you.
This is probably the first time we've had a Western black rhino on a video call.
And a call with a difference for De Graft. Keep watching. We're starting today talking about the coronavirus restrictions across the UK. Many parts of the country are in a new lockdown because of a new variant of the virus, which spreads more easily. Lots of you have been getting in touch with your questions about the new rules, and Shaniqua is here to help me answer them. Good morning, Shaniqua.
Good morning.
Now, we've had lots of people asking about whether their clubs and hobbies like sports or their dance lessons can still carry on under these new restrictions. What can you tell us?
Well, places that are considered to be non-essential are now closed, so that does include all of those activities and clubs. Some things will go online and you can do them at home, and you can exercise outdoors once a day with people in your support bubble or with one person you don't live with.
Yep, and another thing that lots of people have been asking about is exams, like SATs and GCSEs. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that depends on where you live in the UK. In England, the government has said exams including SATs, GCSEs and A-levels won't be going ahead in the summer. In Wales, GCSEs and A-level exams are also cancelled. Now, Scotland's Advanced Highers National 5 exams won't take place, but in Northern Ireland, some but not all exams are going ahead, and they'll happen slightly later than normal. Now, at the moment, we aren't sure how students will be assessed, but it could be similar to last year, where predicted grades, teacher assessments and coursework were all taken into account.
And that one burning question that lots of people have been asking, Shaniqua, when can our lives go back to normal?
Well, the current lockdown in England will be reviewed in the middle of February. However, things are a little different if you live in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Now, the leaders there have said a lockdown review should be expected at the end of this month, so a little bit earlier. But the decisions all four leaders make will depend on a number of things. For example, whether or not the number of cases go down. Now, all four nations say rules will be reviewed regularly, and with vaccinations happening across the UK, there is hope that things will get better as the year goes on.
Yes. Shaniqua, thanks very much for coming in and helping us out with that.
You're welcome.
Now, another thing lots of you have been asking about is the 11+. You guys in Northern Ireland were waiting to find out if the post-primary school transfer tests used by lots of grammar schools to select pupils will still go ahead on Saturday. Well, yesterday, the AQE and PPTC, who run the tests, said they'd be cancelled, but later announced that they'd spoken to schools and will now hold a single test on February the 27th. Now, while you're learning from home, the BBC is here to help you with BBC Bite Size, making lots of extra educational content available to help you keep up with your studies. From Monday, CBBC, BBC Two, BBC iPlayer and BBC Red Button will all be offering up daily lessons and more for students. And this morning on the Newsround website, we're asking how you're feeling about home learning. Head there to cast your vote and have your say, and keep up to date with all you need to know about on the news. Right, let's step away from coronavirus now and talk about something else that we all know lots of you care about: animal protection. De Graft has been meeting a blind rhino called Manu and finding out how technology is being used to protect him from poachers. Let's check it out.
Here on Newsround. This is probably the first time we've had a Western black rhino on a video call.
We have problems now, obviously with COVID, with a lot of reserves not having money to look after their rhino. So we've had quite big increases in poaching.
There's something called thermal technology that's being used to make sure that Moon is safe and making sure he's being looked after. How does that actually work?
Thermal technology is pretty good because what you can do is you can position the animals and you can position the humans. And if the two start getting too close to each other, you know there's a potential problem. Most of our poaching occurs in night times, so it's very nice to have a look at the thermal technology in action, and you can see clearly where everything is going and, where the humans are, the distance, the nighttime. Even if the security guards get too close to Munu, we'll get an alert saying human presence. Other farmers and other conservationists are looking at my system and saying, you know what, this is where we should go as well.
Why does being a conservationist mean so much to you?
We've all got the opportunity to make a difference on this earth. For all we know, Munu's genetics could go on and be the herald for the whole new generation of rhino. Children are the future of conservation. The choices they make now on conserving animals, contributing to conservation, getting their parents to support conservation, I think that's the future and that's where we are.
I love that story. Next, let's catch up with Hayley, who has a very special happy birthday to say in this week's Your Planet.
Hi, I'm Hayley, and here's this week's news affecting your planet. First up, congratulations to climate activist Greta Thunberg, who celebrated her 18th birthday on January the 3rd. The fight to prevent global warming and climate change continues, so let's head to the UK to look at 3 inventions which could help to fight climate change in 2021. First to Oxford, where solar power is not only getting cheaper, but it's getting more efficient too. UK-based company Oxford PV is hoping to increase how much energy solar panels can absorb by combining silicon, which absorbs red light, with a material called perovskite, which turns blue light into electrical energy. This chemical sandwich can increase the panel's efficiency by 30 to 40%. Next to Fife in Scotland, where a new robot has been used successfully to help maintain the blades of turbines on offshore wind farms. The robot, called a blade bug, can find and repair damage, saving money and leading to cheaper electricity. Finally, in Hertfordshire, researchers have developed a new type of rice, which doesn't need to be grown in a puddle. This is important because rice is normally grown in flooded fields, called paddy fields, which emit lots of methane. Surprisingly, growing rice has a similar climate impact to flying, about 2 to 3% of global warming. Well, that's it for this week. See you next time.
Thank you very much, Hayley. Well, what a perfect way to end the show, because that's our time up on your TV screen for today. I hope you all have a good day, guys. If you can't wait until tomorrow when we're back, you can always head to the Newsround website for all the rest of the day's top stories. It's great on there, and please don't forget to give us your vote on how you feel about home learning. Bye-bye.